If you're running a business, here's the uncomfortable truth. We're not in the AI experiment phase anymore. We're in the AI operators phase, where the winners aren't the people who talk about models. They're the ones who can actually deploy, govern, and measure AI in the wild.
And the clearest tell is what's shipping right now for real operations. Real-time voice systems for calls, admin consoles for tracking adoption, and even robots in warehouses taking tasks straight from enterprise software. It's a stack shift from chat to do.
Today, we're going to connect the dots. Voice AI that's ready for customer-facing workflows, physical automation showing up inside SAP-controlled warehouses, and the regulation wave that's turning move fast into move fast with receipts. Narrator, Vo. Let's start with the business reality. AI is turning into an operating system feature. When you see vendors adding analytics and agents into a global admin console, that's not a nice-to-have. That's enterprise buying behavior. Show me adoption, show me usage, show me which agents exist, and show me where the risk lives.
Exactly. According to OpenAI's update tracker, ChatGPT Business is adding admin views for analytics and agents, adoption and usage trends, plus drill downs into GPTs, projects, skills, users, and even tool and connector interactions. That kind of visibility is what security teams have been demanding before they approve broad rollouts.
This is the CFO question moment. If you can't quantify it, it becomes a line item that gets cut. So the winning play is to attach AI to KPIs, time to resolution, cost per ticket, cycle time in finance, lead response times, and use the admin console as evidence.
And a practical example is spreadsheets. The same update window flags ChatGPT for Excel and Google Sheets rolling out globally for business. That matters because it's where analysts and operators actually work. It's not AI as a separate app, it's AI inside the workflow.
So, takeaway. If you're deploying AI internally, build the measurement plan first. Pick 2 workflows, set a baseline, and treat the rollout like any other operational change: training, permissioning, auditability.
Now, voice. The update tracker also summarizes OpenAI releasing real-time voice models in the API. GPT Real-Time 2 for live reasoning, GPT Real-Time Translate for real-time multilingual speech, and GPT Real-Time Whisper for streaming transcription, with published pricing and EU data residency support.
Voice is a brutal proving ground because it's synchronous, high stakes, and expensive. If an agent fumbles, you don't get a do-over. You lose the customer. So the business angle is, can real-time voice reduce average handle time, raise first call resolution, and stay compliant?
And compliance is the key word. The tracker even cites use cases like housing-related calls and fair housing compliance. Whether or not you use that exact vendor, the pattern is clear. Companies want real-time assistance with guardrails, not just transcription.
Here's the strategy move. Don't start with replace the call center. Start with augment the agent. Use real-time transcription, plus suggested next best action. Require human confirmation on sensitive steps. Log everything. And then gradually increase autonomy where metrics prove it's safe.
And invest in evaluation. In voice, you need post-call QA, red team prompts, and policy checks, because the errors are costly and public.
Let's talk about the most cinematic story, humanoid robots, but from a very unsexy angle. Integration. The big shift isn't a robot can walk. It's a robot can receive tasks from enterprise systems and close the loop.
Accenture, Vodafone, Procure and Connect, and SAP described a warehouse pilot in Duisburg, Germany, where a humanoid robot received inspection tasks through SAP Extended Warehouse Management, did autonomous visual inspections, and reported findings and recommendations back into SAP for real-time visibility.
That's the ERP becomes an action layer moment. If your warehouse management system can dispatch embodied work, not just record it, you start automating entire categories of operational oversight.
The pilot examples are very practical. Detect misplaced or damaged products, assess pallet stacking and weight distribution, highlight unused storage, and flag hazards like obstacles or misaligned pallets. Accenture's robotics lead explicitly tied this to reducing injuries, lowering overtime, and reducing dependency on temp labor.
And this is where humanoids stop being a science fair. They can work in human-built environments without ripping up the facility for fixed automation. That's the economic case.
It also sets up the data flywheel. The more inspections and interventions the robot performs, the more labeled operational data you generate. and that improves the models and the playbooks. While all this deployment accelerates, regulation is tightening. A recent state legislative roundup says Connecticut passed SB 5, described as one of the most comprehensive state AI measures, covering consumer disclosures for subscription AI services, chatbot safety protocols including extra measures for minors, labeling requirements for AI-generated material, and even safety obligations and whistleblower protections for employees at frontier AI developers.
Translation: move fast, now comes with paperwork. If you're a vendor selling AI tools, expect customers to ask for disclosures, safety protocols, and escalation paths. And expect employees to have clearer protection when they raise safety flags.
The same roundup notes Iowa's SF 2417 chatbot safety bill was enacted May 2nd. That signals the compliance baseline is moving at the state level, not just federally.
And globally, the EU AI Act timeline matters. The European Commission reiterates the Act is fully applicable. August 2nd, 2026, with earlier phases already in place for prohibited practices and AI literacy, and for general-purpose AI obligations starting August 2nd, 2025.
A separate enforcement explainer emphasizes that the Commission's enforcement powers for general-purpose AI providers begin August 2nd, 2026, essentially a one-year adjustment period. That's a clear deadline for documentation, downstream disclosures, and training data summaries.
The punchline for business: governance is now a competitive advantage. The teams who can show audit logs, model cards, data policies, and incident response will ship faster because procurement says yes.
Rapid Fire 1. Rubedo Life Sciences reported positive preliminary Phase 1 results for a topical GPX4 modulator, RLS 1496. No serious adverse events, dose-related target engagement, and early efficacy signals in dermatology, including an average 20% reduction in epidermal thickness on histology and psoriasis after a month.
Why it matters. Longevity Biotech is learning to talk in clinical endpoints again. If you're investing or building in health, watch for trials that translate aging biology into measurable, regulated outcomes.
Rapid Fire 2. The EU's staged AI rules are pushing everyone toward better documentation and transparency, which means enterprise AI teams need a compliance playbook, not just prompts.
Narrator, Vo.